Welcome back to the Care Conversation Studio. We have a surprise special guest that we grabbed out of the hall and got in the seat. Lucy, how are you doing?
No, I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Good. Right, well, we decided we're going to talk about the state of the world.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about the state of the world at the minute?
Well, I haven't got my tin hat on yet. The state of the world. Well, you know what I'm like. I live my lovely little quiet life in the countryside, and I observe from behind a brick wall. I think that's just the thing. It's happening. There's stuff going on that's just really uncomfortable, unpleasant. I know about it. I'm educated about it. And I know what I can influence and what I can't.
Yeah.
And as long as I can control me and I live my life in line with my values, then I know whatever the world will do, it will do, and it will play out.
I mean, I've been sort of feeling a bit that, there's a lot of like negativity, division in the press, and a lot of that is you can just take a break from it, right? And just if you take a break from consuming Facebook news, Instagram, and I do find that helps me sometimes. You just take a break away from that stuff because they are just at their core designed to be divisive. But then you actually just spend a moment and look around you, that most people are trying just to live a good life and be nice people. Well, that's at least how I perceive it. It's really been quite interesting working with an organisation like Cornerstone in the care sector, whereas we work very on the positive end because we're going into places that are normally well put together and they're running well and they want to make promo videos to show how great they are, whereas Cornerstone will go into places that are like falling apart and save them, right, and get in all that drama. It's been really interesting working with them and learning about, there's quite a lot of not that great stuff going on in the sector.
There's a lot of not great stuff going on.
Great stuff. But then, I have this sort of different perspective. But I do still fundamentally believe, and I might be completely wrong about this, that most people are good and they're trying to be good. And there are some people out there that do bad things. A lot of the time they're doing bad things not because they want to, but because they're sort of being trapped into doing it like that. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Before I start sort of having a breakdown.
No, definitely. Because if you think about it, we have thoughts, emotions, and then behaviours. And people are not necessarily their behaviours. There will be a proportion of people that are doing bad things. And unfortunately, that is just what it is. That's the reality of the world, and that's the reality of life. And yes, things are hard. Different parts of the care sector, mental health. People are struggling financially. And yes, there's a lot of divisive stuff going on. And it really is about what battles can you pick and actually just aligning yourself with your values and your morals and your beliefs and going, okay, am I doing what's nice, what's kind, what's good? Is that how I would want to be treated? And I think if we all navigate life in a simpler way, we make choices for ourselves, not based on what people tell us we should do, then we can kind of filter out and manage that noise, but also have the respect for one another that we don't all know what's going on in somebody else's life. We don't all know what somebody else's challenges are.
You know very little, really, don't you, about most people's life. Even people you know quite well, you can know very little about what's actually going on behind. And I often sort of try to say, there's almost definitely a context behind this, like a reason behind why someone cut you up and swore at you, or whatever happened, or why someone graffitied something in your local park. There's normally a motivation of some kind behind the behaviour. It's not necessarily that they're
doesn't make the behaviour right.
No, it doesn't. No. But it helps you understand a bit better. And then maybe to not. One of the we were talking earlier about. Working with people who are in crisis, and the chap who's from the Crisis Prevention Institute, and he said one of my main bits of advice is don't take it personally when someone's in a crisis, because they will say horrible things to you, but they don't. Try not to take it personally, because it's not. It's not them. It's their behaviour. So you what behaviour? What did you say? Thought, behaviour.
Yeah. So there's a thought.
Yeah.
There's an emotion to the thought, and then there's the behaviour. And you're right about the fact that people need to take things professionally, not personally. And there's a separation, isn't there? So there's that professionally, you've got policies and procedures and rules and regulations. And there's the person, there's you, who you are, your identity, how you experience the world, and understanding that we all create our own reality, so our reality is completely different. So your reality is different to mine, just purely because you're York and I'm Lucy.
Yeah.
And we come from different parts of the country. You're a bloke and I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Simple. But just having that respect for those individual differences.
Is it because Northerners are weird? Is that what it is? You're Northern? You're not Northern, are you?
No, can't you tell? I'm only I'm in theory a Brummie, but not a proper Brummie.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, as soon as you say it, you can sort of remember it. Yeah. So I'm only from High Wycombe, so we're not a million miles apart.
So you're down south,
so
aren't you?
You're
a southerner to me. So
I'm
a northerner to you. See, look, it's all about perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And your perspective will be different to mine. And
did you grow up in Birmingham then, or sort of leafy suburb, or?
I did my nurse training in Birmingham, and I lived right in the city centre.
Wow, okay,
But then kind of Worcestershire, so yeah. I've got a bit of a dodgy Brummie accent, but my family are Brummies.
Yeah.
My dad, a proper city centre, Handsworth, Aston, proper city centre. Brummie, and my mum, Bourneville, Cadbury's.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was going to sort of make a point about inequality.
Okay.
And in it, so I've been, consuming some content around the idea that, we've got this sort of new government that have come in, and they're sort of kind of the same as the previous one in terms of their overall economic policies, and the idea that really part of the problem that we have and the part of the reason we're getting quite divided, and you can really start, all the austerity that's come before in the past sort of 2 decades, you can really sort of see that playing out. I had a really interesting conversation with a chap that runs the highways in my county, who said the budget we have is the same as the budget we had 15 years ago. And we need 12 times the budget we've got
absolutely.
to actually even start picking it up. I wonder, is there a piece around the idea that we're pitted against each other in terms of your views on different things, but actually the problem is that the system hasn't got enough money in it to just deliver.
Yeah, but it's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
So I think there's 2 things to think about, if not more. So you say about 2 parties, but it kind of appears to be the same agenda. So we can have one car, whatever brand that is. You will drive it differently to me. My foot might be heavier on the accelerator than yours, but it's still the same car. Mm-hmm. So they're driving the same car.
Yeah.
It's just that one has a quicker accelerator pedal than the other. If you look at division, if we divide people, it makes those individual groups then fight against one another. It's no different to what's happened throughout history, throughout decades, throughout years gone before. It is no different. The difference comes is when you and I realise that actually our differences really are not differences, and that your differences make you lovely and my differences make me lovely, and it's that common ground. This is where we all see the shift of people realising that actually we're seeing what's happening, but things have to get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult thing, isn't it? If you think about a baby being born, it has to come through the birth canal. That's the really difficult point for the baby. It's been sat there swimming around for 9 months, and then all of a sudden it goes through this really traumatic time, and then all of a sudden it's out there. I think we're going through, as a society, as a world, we're going through the birth canal at the moment.
Does that make Keir Starmer the mother? Or not, I don't know, in that analogy.
No, I think I see the birth canal as the whole world.
Okay.
What's going on in the world. I don't see it relevant to this country, because what we're seeing in this country has just been played out across the world in lots of different countries in different ways. My glass is half full. It always will be.
Yeah.
And we will come through this. It will be difficult, and what we've got to do is support those that need lifting up.
Yeah.
And we've just got to be mindful that we're all different, and sometimes it's okay to just have a bad day, and then tomorrow we can start again. Yeah,
look at your community around you, and if you're feeling a bit lost, I think focus on the people that are closest to you, and see if you can add value, and help, because it helps you normally, doesn't it, if you can help people.
Absolutely. Yeah. We need other people, and I think it's only when you've really kind of developed that emotional intelligence and upgraded where you're at in your own mindset and your whole kind of thinking, the way you navigate life, that you can actually go, yeah, I can deal with this, I'm okay, but knowing when you need to say I need some help, or that you don't. I think we just all need to be kinder to one another, because how you're experiencing the world today is different to how I do, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's just life.
Well, there you go. Put the world to rights in probably 8 minutes.
Yeah, I was chatting to workmen this morning after having this huge build project of moving my dad to live with me. And I said to them, their parting shot was, goodness me, look at us chatting away. And I said, yeah. I said, the problem is, I said, I'm just not ready to be Prime Minister yet.
Give it a few more years, you know. It's,
I couldn't do politics.
No,
I'm just too... Yeah, I just tell it how it is. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Well, you know, that seems to be popular at the moment. People who talk without a filter. You know, does create some odd.
It does.
Odd things.
Look. I spent time in my life.
What's it?
I spend time in my life being a parish councillor. That's enough for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm on a local community association, and that's quite interesting. You know, seeing the politics of the local.
Yeah, completely.
And those different characters and how that works. It's quite. You know, I'm trying to enjoy it. You know, because and find things that I can do to make an impact in my local community, because I think I don't have time, but it's nice to be involved, especially I've got a local business as well.
You got the shop. How is the shop?
Yeah, it's good, thank you. It's good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we had a conversation about the other day. You know, I wouldn't go back and change it. It's been really, really hard process. Like, it's been through a lot, and it's, you know, it constantly presents you with situations where you don't know what you're doing, or you've got to solve a problem that you've never solved before. It's like sort of, I don't know, losing a football match 5-0 and then having to get up and go play again, right? And what do you do in that scenario? And you've just got to brush off, try to learn a lesson and go out and try again, and then you might still lose three more times, but you can't stop. Like, you know, especially when you own it, you can't just let it go. I think it was a job I'd have quit ages ago, because it's mine. I can't let go of it in that same way. So then it forces you to focus on why it's good. Yeah. So me and my wife were having a conversation about the other day about, would we go? And I was like, I don't think I'd go back in time and change it, because I've learnt a lot from it, and I do really love just watching, like, you know, the local customers come in every day and have a place to sit and be together, and I can go and have a chat with them about the development that's going on up the road, and and I think I underappreciate that sometimes, and actually that's, you know, that's quite a nice element of it. But when you're getting kicked about, it's easy to forget.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because we're educated to think of the destination.
Yeah.
What do you want to be? When you're going to go? Who you're going to marry? But actually, it's not about that.
No, it's about the
journey. It's about being
in
the flow and enjoying the journey and learning the lessons. And you know what? Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you have to pick yourself up and move on. But it's about, how does that help you grow as an individual?
Yeah.
How can you take that forward? It's not always about the destination, it's about the journey.
Well, I think for a long time as a small business owner, you're kind of in this sort of growth mindset, and it can be quite toxic, right? That can be the idea that, like, if you don't grow your company by 7,000% in the next 3 days, that you're not considered successful. And I've tried to take a bit of a different approach to that and be a bit more sort of present in the universe and sort of go with the flow a bit more, and, you know, feel that out and experience the experience, and sort of ground yourself every now and again, and just look down and sort of look around you. Yeah.
And if you think about it, trees grow, but they don't always have leaves. They don't always have fruit. They need seasons where they can regenerate, where they can return their nutrient back to their core, and then they can flourish even more.
Yeah.
And if you look at how nature has blended with, like, weather and stuff this year, I mean, I've got flowers in my garden that I shouldn't have in October. And it's just about blending with your environment, going with the flow, learning different tools, and actually finding what's right for you.
Yeah.
Because it's right for somebody else doesn't mean it's right for you. And that's the key.
It's quite interesting. I know someone who's in the American military, and he's on the sort of becoming a major in different roles like that. And the way they do it is that it's a 3-year cycle to get promoted. You do 12 to 18 months in a super intense job, and then you do 12 to 18 months in a more relaxed job that's about personal development. So they do that. So you do all your kind of training and major stuff first, and then you spend the next 12 months sort of focusing on yourself and development, and they give you a job that's less intense. And that's quite an interesting way of approaching it, that where you sort of ramp up and down the gears at different points in your career. I think it's useful. And it's also something that came to mind. I think about you quite a lot when I go to sleep, Lucy. It's weird. It sounds weird.
Is that my lovely hypnotic voice?
Well, what it is that one time you told me about a technique that you can use
peripheral
to stop
vision.
talking. You stop your brain talking to yourself.
Yeah.
I can never remember what it is. And
Peripheral vision.
I want to peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about it. We need
So I can teach you how to do it right now if you want.
Okay,
Are you cool for this?
Right,
okay.
Cool for us. Yeah,
So basically, we spend our lives in forward focus vision. We're on the phone, we're on the computer. That means that our brainwaves are much faster. So there's more chatter, there's more potential for what am I going to do next? Where am I going to go? Think about this. What we need to do is slow our brainwaves down. One of the ways to do that is to use your peripheral vision. This bit here that we would have used years ago that we don't anymore. So if you pick a spot on the wall in front of you just above eye level now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, excellent. Just focus on it for me.
Yeah.
Then what I want you to do is lift your hands up either side of your head, bring your fingers back so that your fingers are just by your ears, and just wiggle your fingers, but keep focusing on the spot on the wall, but just notice your wiggly fingers.
Where's that one? Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And your looks really cool and calm. And your breathing has slowed.
Yeah.
And your face has relaxed. Okay, now hold that for me, but just drop your hands.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So if
I do physically feel different, actually, yeah.
So if you practice that, your brain will access that neurology that you have kind of let go of, because through evolution we don't need to do that. And then you can do that once you've learned how to do it with your eyes closed, and you'll go to sleep like that.
Yeah, I definitely need that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we need to change your state and wake you up, because you're there. You're just chilled. He's gone. He's all sleepy.
Well, I've got a final question for you, Lucy.
Go on then.
If you were a biscuit, what type of biscuit would you be?
Gluten-free.
Okay.
I'm gluten-free.
Yeah.
Viennese whirl.
Oh, nice. Niche, but I like it.
Yeah, but I'm niche.
Yeah. Are they? Do you have to get gluten-free versions of those, or are they normally gluten-free?
I think they do gluten-free versions, but I don't buy
a
them.
hobnob, I think. Is a hobnob
They do a gluten-free hobnob.
Yeah,
no, I don't buy biscuits.
Okay, you don't mind? You don't like them?
No, I don't. I have a sugar-free diet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just.
You don't have a sugar-free biscuit, though, do you?
It's a menopause thing. It's just one of those joys, sugars make me have crashes and cold shivers, and so I don't do it.
Well, wait it out, and then in a few years you can have a Viennese well then.
As long as it's a gluten-free one. But you don't know why I describe myself as a Viennese well.
No, okay, go on then.
Well, because you see, I'm niche.
Yeah.
And I think some people would probably say that I've got a toughish exterior, but I'm kind of soft and squidgy in the middle.
Yeah. Nice, I like it. They normally have a bit of jam as well, do they?
Yes, I've got a bit of spice as well.
Bit of sweetness, bit of spice in there, right? Well, thanks for coming, Lucy.
That was random.
As you might expect. So thank you. All right,
You're welcome.
We'll be back shortly with our next guest, who is Adam Hutchinson, I believe, who I see outside the studio chatting away. And then there's Lucy spotting Ben. There you go. Thank you, Lucy.